Put a hat on. I'm gonna put a hat on.
Go ahead, you can put a hat on. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Lords of the Longbox Friends, the Cover Price Top 10 for the week ending December 12th. We have a new special panelist with us that's going to help us do it. You guys know him, you guys love him, or you guys hate him. Either way, you know. But while we get things started, while you guys are congregating in the live chat, why don't you get things started and let's, just get the liven things up a little. So sit around and relax, pop up on a cold one, and let's get things started. What's going on, YouTube? And guys, welcome to Lords of the Long Box. We are back to you with the Cover Price Top 10 for the week ending December 12th. Man, I'm going to say what's good to the people.
What's up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. We got a great week, great list, exciting week. There's a little well-known movie coming out this week that I'm pretty excited about, and you are too. But and got my good friend here. What's up, Gabe?
That's right.
What's up,
and
man?
Introducing Gabe, loves 90s comics. He's on Instagram. A friend, both Manimal and I know him in person. I've known Gabe for a few years now from when he used to work at being a booth person at a certain... are you still working with that shop?
No, I don't work with Torpedo anymore.
Okay,
I'm
didn't
still
want
good
to
with them
name
and stuff, but I'm
okay.
not
I didn't want to name him, but anyway. If you don't know, Gabe's from Omnibro. Is very, very knowledgeable cat. As you can tell, he loves 90s comics. And what's great about this list is, you know what? I couldn't put an over-under on any particular type of book because this list is a little bit all over the place. And that's what I love about this list. So good luck to you all. So once again, this list is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go over to CovrPrice.com, prime for a 2-week free trial membership or $6.99 a month for all your price guides, collections, trends, top 10s, the movers list, the shakers list, as well as this show is sponsored by our friends at KRSComics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the KRS Comics exclusives. There is nothing dropping tomorrow, believe it or not. But this dropped, the other day, and this was super hot. So look out for that. Yeah. So once again, this is God. I can't believe December. My God, it's almost Christmas. I haven't even started my shopping yet, but this is our early Christmas present to you. Well, we'll probably have a show on. I don't even. Well, okay. I have to look forward now. Yeah, good. Our shows don't land on Christmas, so yeah, we're gonna have a show on the week of Christmas. How does that sound?
Ooh.
Anyway, so let's get right to it, boys and girls. So, by the way, I shouldn't have to say it, but no spoilers in the live chat. If you are, you'll get booted and just digged out. I mean, because they've not seen the movie yet. Although there are spoilers for Spider-Man: No Way Home. Don't be a dickhead. Don't spoil it for everybody. So, just in the live chat, moderators. If you see somebody, just kick them out. Just don't be that guy, okay? We kind of know what's going to happen, but we still want to live in the moment. So there you go.
For
All
sure.
right, so as always, there's always a runner-up to the top 10. What do we got for number 11 this week, Zach?
So number 1 is a returning champion here. Contest of Champions, number 1 from back in 2015. So there's been a lot of interest in White Fox growing as Marvel weaves the character into numerous comic series, and it's clear that both the publisher and fans greatly enjoy her inclusion. Her first appearance in this issue has already helped books like the U 1 in 25 variant hit over $100 for a Raw. However, this standard cover, which also features White Fox, moves 16 copies with a 7-day trend of 165%, high sale $59 for a Raw copy, and a current fair market value of about $37.
Yeah, there was I just picked up a recent White Fox one. It was part of the death of Doctor Strange, and that cover is gorgeous. Yeah, so wherever there's smoke, I say there's fire. I mean, there's people aren't buying this just because, you know what I mean? So you know what? You don't know. You never know until you know. Does that make sense? Anyway, so runner-up for Contest of the Champions is Contest of Champions number 1. This is from 2015 for those listening on the podcast. All right. To break his cherry. Papa's cherry, excuse me. Gabe, what do we got for number 10?
Be gentle. This is my first time. All right. So number 10 this week, we got Star Wars Crimson Reign number 1, Steve Cummins 1 in 50 variant coming out through Marvel this year in 2021. While it may not mean much now, this new number 1 for a Star Wars title features the first appearance of the archivist, Irma Vext, Bright Seer, and Marina. Any book with that many first is worth keeping an eye on. This week, the market has heat around this issue, helped this high ratio 1 in 50 hit big high sales. It sold 25 copies, had a 7-day trend of 91%, and a high sale of $119.95 for a raw dog copy. Star Wars Crimson Reign. What's up with this?
Am I missing something here? Is there something I don't know about Crimson? Is there
kind of? So this kind of a couple of things with this. This book might actually be one of those books, if these characters pop down the line, where there's like some debate on cameo and first appearances, because this is coming off of the War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries, where we saw Kira show back up. But in one of those issues, you actually see all these characters that they're naming as a first appearance in a splash screen. And I think their names, I'd have to double check, but I think their names, even in that book, are above them and identified. But this is when they actually have, for lack of a better word, speaking roles, if you will.
So it's organic. It's nothing based off of a TV show, video game, or anything like that.
Right. All organic. The Knights of Ren show back up. A lot of new characters, a lot of like bounty hunter type-esque assassins, people like that. So pretty strong opening. Honestly, this issue was way better than the whole Bounty Hunters series, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And anything first appearance in Star Wars is just a maniac on the market these days.
Especially with the Book of Boba Fett coming out. I think that's going to be like the show that comes out where people are really going to start buying up Star Wars books, both, Marvel Bronze Age and, Dark Horse and whatever. Because you never know because we already saw Dave Filoni is he's pulled from the animated series. He's pulled from the what they used to call, what is it, Legends? Is that what they used to call non-canon when Marvel took over? What did they called?
Yeah, Legends.
Legend. So Filoni has already said that I'm picking and choosing from everywhere. So now I think that's the thing. I mean, back in the 5 years ago when Clone Wars or whatever, nobody gave a shit about Star Wars comics. But as soon as it became live action, though, man, it started blowing up. So look, keep an eye out for Star Wars, The Crimson Reign, #1, the Stephen Cummings 1/50 variant. All right, #9. It's a surprise to me.
Yeah. So, this spec popped last week a little bit. We got Marvel Team Up #95 from back in 1980. So there's some speculation that Clint Barton's wife, Laura Barton, played by actress Linda Cardellini, may be Mockingbird, Bobby Morse in the comics. This theory is centered around Laura and Clint's close relationship and open discussions around his missions, and even her assistance in several cases. While this remains to be seen, fans are pretty excited about it and helped push her first appearance to a new high sale of $600 for a CGC 9.8. 23 copies sold a 7-day trend of 103%, high sale of $599.99, CGC 9.8.
Wow, that to me that seems a bit of a stretch. You know what I mean?
A bit of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the chick that played her in Agents of Shield, I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
Playing. What was her name? I forgot.
She was Wonder Woman at one
Adrian
point too.
Pilecki.
Yeah, Pilecki. Yeah, she was a Wonder Woman that never made it to air. The Wonder Woman that wore shorts. And to be honest with you, she probably, to me, physically made a better Wonder Woman than Gal Gadot because I mean, she was built. And at least the one picture that they leaked for the Wonder Woman series that never got. If you don't know, look it up. Just look up.
She looked good.
Yeah,
you can find the whole episode. That whole pilot's out there on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
And it's cool. She looks great. She was also the assassin in John Wick. She also
that's right.
Played Supergirl in the very, very first couple seasons of Smallville. So she's been around.
Yeah.
So this whole spec on this, obviously who knows whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. I know that it's kind of supposed to be, but they could always go back and change that. But I'm really feeling like the Laura Barton stuff, I think it's just indicative of the fact that like Clint is just open with his wife. Like there's no secrets. Like, he might have this secret identity and stuff in his job, but I don't think there's any secrets between him and his wife. And I think that's all it's kind of really showing.
I mean, she's known he's been an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then an Avenger forever. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's kind of cool in the series how the Hawkeye series, how she's like, covering him for the kids, being like, oh, you have to take care of this. All right, do what you got to do. Don't worry, I got the kids. I'll take care of the Rugrats where you got doing your thing. Oh, speaking of which, is on tonight at midnight for me. All right, cool. All right, #9 on the list, Marvel Team Up #95 from 1980. Remember, Pip spec'd on this back when it was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it looks like it's back on the spec list again. All right, what do we got for #8, Gabe?
All right, #8 is going to be Captain Marvel #17 from Marvel 2004. This is our runner-up book on the November 1st, 2021 top 10 list. It has been long speculated that Fela Vel, the clone daughter of Marvel, would possibly appear in the MCU, specifically in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. While there's been absolutely no confirmation or setup to introduce the character in the near future, speculation has been reignited from this speculation chatter. This renewed interest made collectors rush out online to buy Fela Vel's first full appearance. It sold 11 copies last week, had a 7-day trend of 277%, and had a high sale of $595 for a CGC 9.8.
Damn. I mean, I don't want to say we contributed to this, but on Letters of the Long Box, we also had a long-term spec list where we were saying Fela Vel was coming to the MCU, and the reason why, a lot of people saying, why not Marvel? Well, they kind of already did that, right? Because, Annette Bening ended up being really,
right.
Captain Marvel, as opposed to, so Carol Danvers can't be Captain Marvel now, so why not bring in Fela Vel? And obviously we talked about her ties with Guardians of the Galaxy and her relationship with, I think it was Moondragon, right?
Moondragon, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, the cosmic universe is growing and growing and growing. And after Spider-Man, No Way Home, it's only going to grow bigger. All I know is there's 2 end credit scenes for No Way Home. So stay to the very end. And this isn't a spoiler. The second end credit scene is not really an end credit scene. It's a trailer for Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness.
That makes sense.
Because we have yet to see a trailer for it yet. So I'm not telling you anything it's not giving anything away. It's basically, if you stay to the very end, instead of showing a second end credit scene, the end credits is going to be the trailer for Captain Marvel, or excuse me, Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness, which is kind of cool, right? You get to watch a movie, and at the very end, you get to see a trailer as opposed to seeing the trailers at the beginning of it, kind of as a surprise to people. So I won't be surprised who you guys are watching now, but just stick to the very end, okay? There's a very, very end credits after the Sony logo pops up, right? So number 8 on the list is Captain Marvel, number 17. What do we got for number 7, Zach?
So this book's been around a couple times on the list. We got Spider-Man India number 1 from 2005. So back in June 2021, rumors circulated that Spider-Man India would appear in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse number 2. We received confirmation of this with the first official trailer of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This teaser features Miles swinging through what is most likely the world of Spider-Man India. This former dollar book is now on fire. 19 copies sold, 7-day trend of 160%, and a high sale of $299.99 for a CGC 9.6. It's important to note that while this is his first U.S. appearance, he first appeared in India, released by Gotham Entertainment Group 2 months before. That first is incredibly tough to find, expensive, and almost always in a very good condition.
Yeah. So eagle-eyed viewers who saw the Into the Spider-Verse 2 trailer noticed that during the scene where he's swinging you through different worlds, the word, you know how Into the Spider-Verse they do like comic books where they go they actually spell out thwip. So thwip was spelled out in Hindi. So that led to people thinking, oh, he's going to be in Spider-Man India. It's the scene where Spider-Man 2099 is chasing Miles throughout different things. And if you see it, eagle-eyed viewers, saw it and they put screenshots and they go, for those who speak Hindi or can read Hindi, said, hey, look, it was thwip and some other words that were in Hindi that they took screenshots of it. So they put that. And they just assume he's going to be in Spider-Man India. Maybe you see a version of it because we know from the first Spider-Man movies, hell, we had 5 different Spider-Man. Why not? We already heard that we're going to see Spider-Man India, and also the original Japanese Spider-Man is going to be appearing into the Spider-Verse. I cannot wait for this movie. By the way, it looks so good. I can't wait for it, man. We're getting spoiled, man. Spider-Man: No Way Home, Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. Spider-Verse coming, the Batman maybe. When is whenever that comes out. But man, looking good, So finally loosen up the floodgates. All right, number 6 on the list, number 7 on the list, Spider-Man India number 1. And this book should be no surprise to anybody that it shows up on the list. And I actually won a bet with Matt DeVoe from CovrPrice saying, I bet you this book will end up on the top 10 and he owes me a McRib. So what do we got for number 6, Gabe? Right up your alleyway.
Right up my alley, everybody. Here's our first 90s comics on the top 10 list this week. At number 6 is Battle Chasers Prelude from Image Comics, 1998. Also came out from the Cliffhanger subgenre there. Battle Chasers content has been teased for years now. Mm-hmm. However, Deadline recently reported that Battle Chasers TV series from John Wick creator Derek Kolstad, based on comics in works at Alkin Entertainment. Derek Kolstad is a big name to add to this project. Hollywood is itching for his next project, so this has a high chance of making it through the development production process. This Prelude issue and its gold variant are seeing significant traction. 14 copies of just the standard cover had a 7-day trend of 262%, with an high sale of $32.99 for a raw, and that beautiful gold version has a fair market value of $70 raw. This is one of my favorite series of all time. It's a series that people dump on me about because they hated it and they said it's garbage. And look at it now, $70 for that gold variant. How awesome is that right now?
That Joe Mad, man.
Joe Mad's got it, bro.
There was a game that actually came out for Battle Chasers, and Joe Madura, if love or hated, I don't know if they're gonna do Red Monica like they do in in live action as they do in the comics, because let's just say she's got a lot on her chest that she's carrying. But
she's very top heavy.
But what's interesting to me is John Wick is doing it, right? Because Battle Chasers is kind of this weird kind of fantasy kind of genre thing where John Wick is more of a hardened kind of thing. But you know what? Hey, if you know what, you've done John Wick two times, or you're gonna do it 3 times, and if you're done successfully, I'm down to see how they'll do Battle Chasers. So props to Joe Mad for finally sticking with it and getting it done, man. This thing is, even though it only ran 9 issues, and what's cool about this is for those old school cats like us who remember AnotherUniverse.com used to have, it was at the time in the 90s, it was Another Universe and Dynamic Forces were the 2 sites you went to go get your exclusive variants, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays,
there's no stores doing exclusive variants for every
exactly.
issue like these days.
Now there's like, you got your Carriers Comics and all these other online retailers that do it. But back then, if you wanted the exclusives from Marvel and DC, or, even Image, you went to AnotherUniverse.com or Dynamic Forces, and I actually have a Dynamic Forces Chromium #2 of this. I have the Prelude, I have the #1, I have the variant #1, but I don't have the Red Monica. And the Red Monica one, #1 issue seems to be the one that the market is picking up on, mainly because, she's
it's gold foil.
Yeah. Oh, gold foil too. I can't even find that. I tried looking for it. It's impossible. I can't find it. I'm bothering even looking on eBay. All right, so we're halfway through our list, boys and girls, and that means let's hear from our friends over at My Slabs. Are you tired of paying 10% or more for fees? Join the 1% revolution.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Yeah, when you sign up to be a seller, and they say where you heard from, say you heard it from the Lords of Long Box, and they'll approve you as a seller. So have at thee, as they say. So number 6 on the list is Battle Chasers, the Prelude from 1998. What have we got for number 5? Look at that, another Star Wars book.
Yeah, so this is a Star Wars book that has kind of been on a little bit, but I'm surprised that it's not hotter than it really is. We got Star Wars Shadows of the Empire #1 from Dark Horse back in 1996. So this book features the first appearance of Prince Xizor and the first cover appearance of Dash Rendar. This book is specifically trending due to speculation that Prince Xizor will appear in the new Star Wars series Crimson Reign, as noted in number 10. 23 copies sold with 7-day trend of 224%, high sale of $279 for a CGC 9.8. So yes, they mention him in the Crimson Reign book. So you get a lot of information, or not a lot on him, but definitely moving in that realm. A lot of great things from the canon times. Obviously Dash Rendar, the Shadows of the Empire stuff was awesome. Remember the Nintendo 64 game, which was great. Yeah, man.
So that's interesting that it's so. This is the Dark Horse version, and then we have the Marvel version.
So there has been no Marvel version yet. That's what the spec's coming off of.
Yeah. So I mean this. You know what? I got to think there's something coming. Rarely does it just, I guess Aphra was a character. It was probably the first new Marvel character that was really hot, if we think about it, right? Before there was any Disney Plus Star Wars show, she was like the first, was he the first original Marvel Star Wars character? Besides,
hard to say first,
the rabbit.
But probably the first big one, like you said. Yes.
Yeah.
Her and the droids. One.
Yeah, her and the droids. But before that, it was Jackson the Rabbit, right? Way back in the Bronze Age, So
Bucky O'Hare looking rabbit.
Yeah. I tell you, if Jackson ever shows up in the book of Boba Fett or anything, I will lose my shit. I swear to God, and that book will go through the roof if you see a rabbit, any type of rabbit type character show up on any Star Wars live action show. All right, number 5 on the list is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, #1, another 90s book from 1996. All right, this book is just, I don't know. This book is just hot. I don't know why.
All right, that hot book this week, number 4 coming in is Animal Castle #1 from Ablaze 2021. As a nod to George Orwell's Animal Farm, this series by writer Xavier Dorison and artist Felix Dip features a twist on the concept where all animals are not equal. It was initially released in France in 2019 and 2010. As a 2010, it's supposed to be 2020. Who knows? As a two-part graphic novel, the synopsis describes the series as a nestled in the heart of a farm forgotten by men. The animal castle is ruled by an iron hoof by President Selvo. The bull and its dog's militia savor their power, while the other animals are exhausted by work until the arrival of the mysterious Azelard, a traveling rat who will teach them the secrets of civil disobedience. Fans immediately took to this very hard-to-find series and turned to online sources to find a copy. It sold 78 copies, had a 7-day trend of 124%, and a high sell of $40 for a raw copy.
I wonder if this is just like that residual effect of things like Stray Dogs and Beasts of Burden, things like that. Book comics about animals.
Anthropomorphic stuff has been blowing up.
That's the word I was looking for, but I can't pronounce. So thank you for pronouncing it for me. So
hey, shout out to Justin, aka Nemesis Prime. He got me 2 copies of this book, and I just got them in the mail the other day.
Nice.
Bastard. Well, you don't need to. Why don't you send me one?
Well, 2 covers. This cover and the other cover.
We don't need both covers. Send me one. So, so when this book appeared on our week last week, somebody sent me a DM on Instagram and told me that you can order the French version, which is the original, some French website. So look out for that. Just look. Animal Castle #1, their true first appearance is the actual French edition. If you don't know. Believe it or not, the French have a rich history with comic books. If you think about the artist Mobius, who's a French artist, French are big on sci-fi and just like in the UK, big on comic books too. So the French have a deep history with comics and sci-fi and all those, and Mobius being probably the most famous. Rest in peace. Obviously, Mobius is probably the most famous French artist I can think of that did comic books. I'm trying to think anybody else.
Europe in general is just it's a different society. They respect comics a lot more than America used to.
Especially sci-fi. They really dig sci-fi and fantasy. More so, I don't know about like superhero comics now, but back, if you think about the 70s, Doctor Who, right? I mean, that's like, to me when I was a kid and I saw Doctor Who, and I thought it was ridiculous, right? But the British, they love them some sci-fi, and Doctor Who, has been one of the longest running franchises in sci-fi for a long time. So there you go. Number 4 on the list, Animal Castle. Number 1. Blaze Comics. I never heard of them. It's good to see these indie books getting some love, man. All right, so this is probably my favorite cover on the list. What do we got for number 3?
Number 3, we have X-Men Legends number 9. The I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The Care Andrews Adamantium Foil Edition.
Kari, like Atari.
Kari, Adamantium Foil from Marvel 2021. So with X-Men 97, so popular, this variant screams 90s with an animated art style and an excellent shiny foil cover to top it off. You might as well throw in the word adamantium to make it an extra 90s issue. This fun variant sold 39 copies, 7-day trend of 297%, and a high sale of $25 for a raw copy. Yeah, that's cool, man.
How do I not have this? This is so cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of maybe the younger generation or newer collectors don't like it, but this screams to me like nostalgia. You know what I mean? Especially throw the word foil or chromium and anything nowadays, it's nostalgia. It's taking its turn. I think in 2021 is the best time now to do gimmick covers. People say it killed the comics market in the 90s. It really did, and it was distributing and some other things. But now I think, people like us who are in their teens or maybe 20s and 90s, now if we see like a brand new, foil or chromium cover, I think we would be all over it. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is my favorite cover by far. Some maybe think it's a little messy and all over the place, but I dig it, man. It's got beautiful. Definitely has a 90s vibe to it, man. Definitely.
Give me some more die cut covers. That's what
there you go. Yeah, die cut. Yeah,
like the Protector, that one that had the bullet hole that went through the whole comic. Yeah, something like that would be great.
Oh,
Wolverine number 50 is still one of the best die cut covers.
Yeah, is that the yellow cover, right?
Yeah.
I still have that actually.
The top secret one.
Yeah,
that's a great
there
one.
you go. All right, just no more bad comics. We don't want bad comics. We want gimmick covers. We don't want bad covers anymore because that's that I don't think that's a good thing anymore. Death of Superman was.
Bad comics don't help anybody. Doesn't help the publishers, doesn't help the readers. Yeah, it's
yeah.
intrusive.
We want to be able to see the covers. Don't cover in the bag or seal it up or so we can't see the defects. All right. So number 3 on the list is X-Men Legends, number 9 from 2021. If you were to look at this book, you wouldn't think it came out in 2021, right? It definitely has a 90s vibe to it. Just the style of artwork from Carrie Andrews. His name is Carrie, because I actually Googled it and it was like Kari. Rhymes with Atari. So I was like, fuck it, your name is Kari. So all right. So number 2 on the list, gotta be this.
All right, number 2 this week is Amazing Spider-Man number 365. Another great 90s comics on here from Marvel 1992. Returning to the list this week is this preview of Spider-Man 2099 number 1. Per CGC's listing, it gets the honor of being the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara and Spider-Man 2099. With such significant teaser trailer heat, this thing sold 127 copies last week with a 7-day trend of 125% and a high sell of $461.99 for a CGC 9.8. Other books being debated as his first appearance, at least via cameo, are Marvel Age number 114, the 1991 Marvel Annual Report. Those things are awesome. Pick up those annual reports. And pull-out poster of 2099 and Spider-Man in Web of Spider-Man number 90. So there's a lot of debate on his first appearance, but CGC says it's this quote-unquote preview.
Yeah. So I mean, it's sometimes it's what the label says on a slab. Sometimes it's the market has dictated what they decided on, right? There's also Spider-Man 2099 number 1, which is obviously, I mean, it's no surprise that you see him in the trailer. I mean, he was at the end of the first Into the Spider-Verse. It's cool now that we're in an age where animated superhero fare is getting the market moving, right? In the past, not so much, right? Like even when the first Into the Spider-Verse movie came out, Spider-Gwen didn't really get a bump like it should have. You know what I mean? Because Spider-Gwen was somewhat of a hot character, but you expect it was a bump. But after how amazing that animated film was, people are like, you know what? And 2020 started is all new collecting. I mean, it's streaming. It can be Amazon, Netflix. We'll see. But we saw with The Boys, and with what was it? God,
Umbrella Academy hit pretty good.
Yeah. And then
Why the Last Man, but that got destroyed by Netflix.
That got destroyed. I was just gonna say,
Lock and Key.
No, Invincible. Invincible, the Amazon series, that book blew up. I mean, that it was a hot book before, but once it became an animated series on Amazon, it really blew up. And looking forward to season 2.
I sold my 9.8 of that a little too early.
Yeah. So Amazing Spider. There was actually rumors that you bring a Why the Last Man that it's going to be finding life on another network,
possibly Disney. Yeah.
So
I hope they
there you
rework
go.
it. Yeah.
So number 2 on the list, Cowboy Bebop got canceled by Netflix after 1 season. So Cowboy Bebop number 1 was on our list like 3 weeks ago. That's why I don't have faith in Amazon. They cancel things.
Netflix.
Excuse me. Yeah, they cancel things. I mean, just because they just have sheer volumes of crap that they can show that they can produce. And so if they don't like one, they're like, man, we won't give it a second season. Because a lot of times on network TV, they'll give it 1, 2, 3 seasons. And if it doesn't work out, boom, it's done. But Netflix, 1 season and it's done. Like, I can't praise the animated series Arcane high enough. You guys have to see Arcane. You don't have to be a League of Legends a video gamer. You probably will enjoy more if you are. But if you haven't, it's probably one of the best animated series ever. That's how serious I am about Arcane. Go peep out Arcane, and the animation is top notch. Some animation is a little weird, but check out Arcane. And there was another one called Green Snake. If you haven't seen it, that just came out on Netflix last week. It's a Chinese animated show. Movie, and it's awesome too. Crazy. It's like really bonkers kind of fantasy martial arts. But go check out Green Snake if you haven't. I think it premiered on Netflix last week, but there's some nice little hidden gems on Netflix every now and then. But number 2 on the list is Amazing Spider-Man number 365. And if we have that as number 2, then this can only be number 1.
Yeah, it should be no surprise, but we have Spider-Man 2099 number 1 from Marvel in 1992. So between all the various cameo appearances and preview appearances in 365. This is still the first series of Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, and it's on fire right now, especially that Toy Biz white second print version. The character, voiced by Oscar Isaac, is getting a massive spotlight in the forthcoming Across the Spider-Verse animated film, with the trailer immediately sparking tremendous interest. Last week, it sold 142 copies, 7-day trend of 128%, and a high sale of $315 for a CGC 9.8.
And this is easy to get in a 9.8. This is the hard cocks.
Hard cocks.
Whoa.
Hard card stock cover. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, this. I have a feeling Spinetex is gonna take that and use it on their show. But yeah, it's the hard stock cover, so it's either a 9.8 or it isn't really. I mean, you know what I mean? Because if you get any type of ding on it, you can't press it out because of the
holofoil on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus it's the harder stock covers on it. You know, like if you remember, I always talk about the Amazing Spider-Man, like $299, $298. Those covers are, especially 301, so hard to find in 9.8 because the covers, I don't know, the manufacturer printing process they use, the covers are super thin. And in Amazing Spider-Man 301, you could see the first page through the cover. That's how thin it was. And that's why for a while now, the Amazing Spider-Man 301, that book was such a hard, you know, it was a high price for a 9.8, but number one on the list, you never thought it. Spider-Man 2099. I'm pretty sure people had multiple copies of this in their bins, you know, or passed up on this book millions of times before. But there you go. Between this one and this one,
yep,
we're doing things.
I used to go to conventions and you would see full long boxes of those things and people would just trip over them, not even care.
Same with Battle Chasers, right?
Yeah.
Anything 2099, man, was basically just lining boxes for years. And years and years.
I mean, do you remember they used to have like they have multiple characters from 2009. I'm trying to think like Deathlock.
Doom 2099.
You had Ravage, Ghost Rider.
Was there Deathlock 2099 as well?
No,
there was an X-Men 2009 series that was great. Also, all
Doom.
that stuff was fun. Doom's the best. Warren Ellis wrote half that series.
Yeah. I can imagine. I can see Sony spinning off and doing an animated 2099 version of it, right? Because really, they can really like if you do a live action movie based in 2099, I think the special effects would be really expensive. But you know, animated films are kind of expensive already, but it would be the same cost as doing, you know, a regular version modern day as opposed to something that takes place in the future. So who knows? You never know.
I've been looking for the Ghost Rider 2099 CGC to 9.8 for a while, man. And believe it or not, it's kind of tough to find.
People are picking those things up. They are pretty pricey for these 9.8s of these 2099 books. They're not cheap.
Yeah, people are trying to get ahead of the curve, and for the most part, they're guessing right. So I mean, we'll see what happens with Into the Spider-Verse 2099, but they're going into his world. So I mean, it makes why not spin off? Sony needs can do a lot of things for Spider-Man 2099 that doesn't have to be connected to the MCU. It can, because 2009 is in its own little world where they can do their own Spider character. So there you go, man. So this was a fun list. This was a little bit everywhere, man. So not everybody did too well. Yeah, to Doom 2099. So thanks for joining us, Gabe. Thanks for having us. Yeah, we'll have you on if you want on a regular basis, if you like.
Yeah, dude, I'm down to jump in. This is great. There's nothing better than chatting up comics and talking stats and not spec, but actual like real sales and that what the show is all about. That's the best part about this. Nobody's going out and going buy Hulk 2099, but just connect the dots. There's something going on.
But this list is good also because it tells you kind of like you can see what's trending and kind of get an idea. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, there was an announcement. It's like that's like last summer when Miles Morales books were just booming, started shooting through the roof. Then we found out that Miles Morales was going to be in the animated series, the animated film, right? With the summer of Miles Morales. It was the summer of Miles Morales and Punchline. Sadly, Punchline kind of filtered away, but Miles was, that's easily 9.8 is I think it is easily averaging like 1,500 and 9.8 now for Ultimate Fallout #4 to the point now to where people are like, no, this is the first. A book is hot when people are like saying, no, that's not the first appearance. This other one because I have 20 copies of this cheaper version. They want to pump that one up. But where can they find you, Gabe?
You guys can find me. Hit me up on Instagram. Gabe loves 90s comics.
There you go, man. Any last words?
No, just I want to reiterate what Tim said earlier. You know, everyone, we all know the Spider-Man movie coming out this week, and we all know there might be potential craziness happening. So just kind of be fair, be nice. Not everyone's gonna be able to see it day one, so maybe don't post about it. Be very careful about what you spoil and whatnot, man, because
especially
it's
Instagram
tough now, dude.
There's no way to hide, you know, you can say spoilers, but there's a picture. So if you're scrolling through your feed, actually
just stay off the internet for the next couple of days. Save yourself the heartache.
Exactly. I'll be seeing it Thursday right after the Shaker show. So I was able to get a ticket. My girlfriend doesn't want to see it, so perfect, because there were single seats available. I'm like, boom, I'm going to see it on Thursday. I'll probably see it again I got to see it in Dolby as well. Because I was only able to get the regular theater, but my God, my theater I was looking at my theater on a Thursday showings. There was probably about, I don't know, 25 showings. They are going full out. I mean, I think Spider-Man No Way Home has got a good chance to be the first $1 billion U.S. film since the pandemic, I think.
Yeah, I'm going at 3 p.m. on Thursday, so I'm going early as hell, man.
Too. I can't wait.
And you know why it's going to get $1 billion? Because it's going to get a China release. That typically films that really get that $1 billion mark is because they get China release. But Marvel
it's exclusive to theaters. There's not like a Disney Plus version as well.
Mm-hmm. Or HBO Max, right? Or HBO Max, you know, is like, you know, they killed off Dune
they killed Suicide Squad that way.
Yeah. So, you know, hopefully things are getting back to normal. You know, if you don't feel safe, wear a mask. You know, just wear a mask in the theater and you'll be all right. If you don't want to, you know, take a gamble, don't use the pandemic or the COVID as an excuse. You can protect yourself if you're that worried and you're vaccinated and you're worried about other people. Wear a mask and just
be more concerned about if you're going to see in Cali, but more concerned about people rather than COVID. Bring a gun with you.
Just go during the day where everybody's at work or at school. That's the best time to see these movies. They go like
but on opening, you want to see opening night for a superhero movie. That's when the crowd is like
that's the best.
That's when they're the most knowledgeable. That's when people are. I've been to like on a Saturday afternoon, and it was like, y'all ain't reacting to what we just saw right now. It's like, come on now. But on a Friday night, Thursday night, that's when the crowds are hype. I remember when it was like Thursday night showings, they would only show at midnight. Remember that? Yeah. It was like, I remember the Avengers, the first Avengers film, we had to wait till midnight Thursday for it to open. But now it's like Thursday, 3 p.m., noon p.m. And then on Thursday at my theater, there's the last showing is at 1:30 a.m. That's how.
It's crazy, dude.
That was before like assigned seating before we were
right. You had to wait in line.
You had to wait in line. I waited in line for the Dark Knight Returns. I waited in line for like 2.5 hours to see that to get our seats. But what's interesting when you see a movie at 1:30 a.m., you better bring your own snacks because the concession stand's closed. You ain't get shit.
No way, dude.
Yeah. All right. So for Manimal and Gabe, this is TiVo. We'll see you guys Thursday for the Shaker Show. And as always, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes, and we will see you real soon. Peace out.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select, and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faithful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here. We're back. Turn up. Can't do my job. You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice.
Oh, how so?
I'll be too busy looking good.
You can't understand.